Alright guys, welcome to the first episode of the Sold Out podcast with Dtmdmagician, also known as Abdullah. Why don't you introduce yourself maybe a little bit and...
Dope. So my name is Abdullah Ahmad, at Dtmdmagician on Instagram, and I'm a 16-year-old entrepreneur and mindfulness coach, and yeah.
That's it, man. We were talking just before we started rolling about where did you get that name, Dtmdmagician?
Oh yeah. It's not from the drug DMT, no. I'm not into psychedelic drugs.
That's it.
It's from I used to perform magic when I was younger, and when I was like up until about 11 years old, I used to like really want to be a magician. I was like, I'm gonna be a magician.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that happen. And DTMD was always the name, but I can't say what it means yet.
That's your little secret.
Yeah, that's my little secret. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. So first of all, we'll talk about the book maybe first. So I've read about half of it, and then my sister actually nicked it from my room one day and she read the whole thing. So I just got it back today for this podcast, so I'm gonna finish that.
Awesome.
So I want to just talk about so you started your first company when you were 13.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to get a bit of an origin story about maybe some early years and how you kind of got into all of that, you know?
When I was in first year, I think I started first year at 12 years old. Yeah, I did. And then throughout first year, I chose business and French as my two subjects. And in the business module, we had to create a small company for a Christmas fair.
Yeah.
And it was the standard, selling phone cases and sweets. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
And
you took it that step further.
Yeah.
Kind of. I just pitched it really well to the judges, so we actually won the Christmas fair. Then we got on to the Dunleary finals, and we did really badly there.
Yeah. Really,
we did not get through. But yeah, from that I realized, okay, I want to do business, number one, and number two, I don't really want to work with someone. I'd rather, collaborations is cool. I like creating with people, but when it comes to management, I kind of want to be in charge.
Of
my own
of
ideas.
your own ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because no one else can see the vision like I can. So for my stuff.
Yeah. So went from that school fair, and then you just kept doing it outside.
Not with that though. Not with the company. Not with selling the sweets and phone cases. I went from that. I went from the Christmas fair company thingy to knowing that, okay, I want to do business. And then from that, I was like, okay, well, I'm already doing magic. I may as well make more money off the magic. Because I was already charging a little bit for like weddings and I don't know, birthday parties and whatever, making like a tiny bit of money. Yeah. And I was like, cool, let me make merchandise. Because all the big magicians that I look up to, they all have merchandise. So I was like, okay, cool, let me be like David Blaine, let me make my own merchandise. And I made a t-shirt that had like DTMD on it. And I was like, this is so cool, oh my god, just made a t-shirt, what? And that was really where the whole fashion thing came in. And I was like, whoa, let me keep doing this. Let me make this into a brand, because I really enjoyed the whole process of sketching out a design, putting it on a t-shirt, seeing it, wearing it. Oh my god, this is cool.
Let us know, some of your jumpers and t-shirts, they have such like abstract designs, and they're so like full of vibrant colors and stuff. Where did them colors come from, in a sense?
They definitely came from being in Dublin and not liking the way most people are supposed to dress. Because it's not even like the way most people dress, it's the way most people are assumed to dress. Like teenagers, it's like, okay, you wear a grey hoodie and a grey track pants and you're cool. And it's like, okay.
There's other alternatives as well.
Yeah, I was like, let me make some colorful stuff. You want to
stand out, in a sense.
Yeah, in a way, because I think that was why Joker took off so quickly in Dublin, because when people wore it, people bought it because they knew they'd feel away when they wore it. And
I think different.
I definitely portrayed that well with the models that I chose, because those people, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this, but they didn't give a
they can figure it
out. So I was like, okay, let me find people who don't care what other people think, and let me get them to wear the clothes, because that shows in the pictures. They look comfortable. So
it's really interesting as well, the unique design where you'd have the J here, the O, K, E, and the O. Like, you'd have something you wouldn't have seen before, in a sense, and it's just real cool to see that pursuit,
I mean, overall, like, as a culture, even streetwear kind of came into Dublin and everything. Now you're seeing a lot more young guys caring about what they look like, And
I think I definitely started a lot of that off.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I feel like Joker influenced a lot of people too, whether it's through fashion or through modeling or through any other like entrepreneurial pursuit. I feel like the fact that I did it and I was like, guys, look, I'm 13 and I did this.
You can start your own.
And like, I'm not saying I'm amazing, but it's like I went for it.
Yeah.
So anyone else can do it, and I feel like a lot of people did do that. I always get DMs that's like, bro, thank you so much for being so public about Joker, because of that, I saw your story and I started as well.
Yeah.
It really is inspirational to see, like,
I see it firsthand, like when interviewing all these young brands for the magazine, like it definitely all started just a couple of years ago. So that was probably one of the first, like, you know. It's true. It actually is.
It's interesting to see how you do these things that other people wouldn't do. Like, you'd be doing this clothing in such a unique way.
One of my questions was, you said in the book, so in the background of all of this probably happening, you were reading or you got inspired by the Caleb Maddox book that he wrote when he was 14, and you talk a lot about self-education rather than formal school education. So I just kind of wanted to get where that kind of started. Were you just kind of going down YouTube rabbit holes and letting that inspire you, or where did all that kind of come from?
I definitely went down a lot of YouTube rabbit holes, but I think it started from when I was 10 or 11. I think it was in 5th class. Yeah, 5th class in primary school. One of my mom's friends what did she do? She gave us a DVD, and the DVD was of The Secret. I don't know if you've
I've seen that.
Yeah, and after I watched that, I was like, okay, this is cool. Obviously I didn't understand it. I was 11, and I was like, it was always in the back of my head though, and I was like, okay, let me research this a little bit more. So then when I was 13 and I had just started Joker, that's when kind of my whole personal development thing started as well, because I was looking into all these things like law of attraction, like, the hermetic principles.
The 7 hermetic principles. Yeah. Reading Think and Grow Rich. How to win friends and influence people. So you're reading those books at that age, like. Yeah,
and like that's really what expanded my mind. Because if I didn't have an open mind like those books gave me and helped me to develop, there's no way I would have done anything I'm doing these days.
Yeah, because I found that book really good as well. I read that just as I finished secondary, Like I only read it now, like last year. Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah, Napoleon's brilliant.
And that just kind of like changed my whole aspect. Just as I finished school, it was a good book to read.
Definitely.
So I can only imagine if I had found that book
way
before. Yeah, exactly. I would have been on this a whole 5 years earlier.
And the thing is, like, after I read that book, I thought I was finished. But then I'm like, wait, he has 11 books.
Yeah.
Then you go through all of them, and you're like, whoa, there's so much more to all this. And it's like, what?
And all these other people to get into and everything, like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And in terms of mindfulness, I feel like you're going into an area that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Definitely.
It's neglected in a sense because people don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, do you want to tease that kind of what you're working on coming up next?
So what I'm working on is the course. So I'm working on a 30-day course for teenagers, teaching them mindfulness. Yeah. So basically it's teaching everything that I've been trying and failing at, and then it's teaching what actually worked. Because I've gone through, as you said, YouTube rabbit holes for days on end, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't work. Oh, this worked. Oh, let me try that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this worked. Then maybe this variation. Oh, it worked too.
Yeah.
And then you just learn more and more and more. And I've got a big bank of stuff that's it's not of content on mindfulness that just
it's kind of scattered around.
Yeah, but like I've got like one
little folder
bank or save or whatever
that's been tried and tested as well.
Yeah, it's tried and tested for the past year or two, and it's like, this works for me. I know it can work for other people. And the reason that I'm doing 30 days is because I don't feel like, okay, for me the 3 things that work is meditation followed by gratitude followed by yoga. 10 minutes of those every day, and that works for me. That's all I need. After that, if I'm upset or whatever, I'll just talk to a friend or I'll do something else. But if I've done those 3 things, usually I'm totally good for the whole day. But I know that maybe that won't maybe that won't work for everyone. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me get 30 things.
Yeah.
And over those 30 days, they're going to learn 30 different exercises. They're also going to meditate with me every single day. And it's like, it's literally guided because during the video, I'm doing it with them.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're practicing the exercises together. So it's not just, hey, do this and then you're going to be better. No.
It's not like a little 5-minute video in a sense, just telling you what to do.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
it's guiding you through.
We're going to do this now. For the next 10 seconds, we're going to do this. For the next 30 seconds, we're going to do this. Yeah. And
that's perfect, because that was one of my next questions, was what kind of nearly advice would you give for people starting meditation or wanting to get into yoga, especially for like young people like ourselves? Like, we mightn't even really be too familiar with that, you know.
So it's hard to know where to go and where to start.
So it sounds like that course is going to be a great jumping off point for a lot of people.
Definitely, you know? Especially for students. I feel like for students who are stressed about school, this is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, and that's
especially if they get in like second or third year, it's going to be like it's going to be perfect. Because if I had learned this stuff in second or third year, I probably wouldn't have such a negative perception of school that I have now.
Like you think you're coping with it better now, like
definitely.
Yeah.
Now school's like that,
and you're killing it outside of it as well, so it doesn't even matter. I wanted to talk about as well, like, because people might be kind of hesitant to do the course or something, but I want to just let them know that like the reception you got from the book proves how successful it is. I want to talk about some of the feedback you got after even the book came out.
That was crazy. Like the amount of messages I got that were like, yo, this is making me see life in a whole new way. Like this is making me see like all those situations I thought were terrible. It's like there's other sides to it. And man, those like sometimes I was literally crying listening to those receptions, the feedback, because I was like, what the
That's
hell?
Intense. Like
this is mad.
Yeah.
Like one dude sent me like an 8-minute voicemail, and I was like, bro, I literally started crying like 10 times. I'm like, man, I just helped this guy so much.
I feel it's crazy to
amazing
to think that you can inspire someone so much in a sense.
Yeah,
and that's what the book probably did. It just gave a voice for all these like all these ideas and stuff, you know.
Because they didn't hold back in the book. I feel like all these like SPHE projects you do in school, it's not real. It's really fake. It's really like, hey,
it's real systematic.
Yeah, and it's like, no, this is actually a real life example. You can go from being super depressed in school to being like, hey, I'm not.
Ultra happy, like almost.
Yeah, and the power is in your hands. That's the main thing. It wasn't something that happened outside of me that made me more okay with myself. It was me saying, okay, look, outside of me is going to be outside of me. I can't change some stuff, but what I can change is myself and how I think. And
on the inside, like.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And
so just kind of going on from that as well, obviously a big part is that you're vegan.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to say, like, what do you think are the benefits maybe for young people if they're going to follow the course, follow all of this other stuff? Do you think that helps you as well? Kind of having the healthy diet?
For me, it does. I'm not one of those crazy fanatical vegans. Yeah. I just tried it for 30 days. When I wrote this book, I wrote this book in 30 days, majority-wise. And during those 30 days, I was vegan as well. And I was also practicing like everything that I was teaching in the book. I was really practicing what I was preaching in it.
Yeah.
And I made sure of it, because if I wasn't, I would have felt weird writing it. So during those 30 days, I was vegan anyways. And the reason I was vegan and the reason I tried it is because my sister's been vegan for like 2 years. And my mom's been vegan for, I don't know, a year probably. And they always say they feel loads more energy. So I'm like, okay, let me try it. I felt loads more energy. So I was like, then after the 30 days, I went back to, eating meat and being a terrible person, jokes.
And you probably felt that change as well.
I definitely did. I think the main thing for me was getting rid of dairy, not really the meats. More when I stopped eating, I love cheese. I loved cheese, man. When I got rid of that cheese, I just felt so much cleaner. And then one day I woke up in December and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go vegan one day for the rest of my life anyways. I've already made that decision.
May as well be now.
I already feel better when I'm vegan, so I'm like, here, let's just do it now. So,
I mean, that's a big trend with you, man. Like, you just kind of, even if something fails, you still kind of innovate it and put it out in a new form. Like you were saying, you had all this kind of meditation stuff scattered about, and then you start. That process of elimination brings it down to the course,
Exactly.
Did you have the same experience when you started the public speaking? Like, did you find it hard to like get down, a big kind of 30-minute talk, or what kind of what you doing?
The first talk I ever gave was, well, excluding my book launch. The book, that wasn't really a talk, more of a Q&A.
That was at Bag of Tutton, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was more of like a Q&A kind of thing.
So it's probably a bit easier that you're kind of getting questions put at you.
And it was like my best friend asking questions as well.
Happy days.
But the first one I actually gave was in London, in
insane.
Bournemouth, which is really funny because it wasn't even in Ireland. And the guys that booked me, and Chris still hates me for this, he didn't even know that I'd never given a talk before. He had no idea.
So you had to just go up and kind of...
I had to fake it until I made it, literally. That's a big trend to me. I always... Well, I'm not saying I always fake it until I make it, but I always just put myself in those sort of situations, those sort of sink or swim. Literally. And you learn to swim or you just about float. It's one or the other. Because you can't let yourself drown. But I think the first talk I definitely drowned. It was bad.
Yeah, like
I was nervous. I was like trying to what's the word? Trying to like
kind of improvise, kind of
definitely improvising. But I was trying to explain myself a bit too much, and I wasn't just sticking to what I wanted to tell.
Just not letting it flow, almost. You know.
Definitely wasn't flow. Definitely.
Yeah.
The second talk was really good though. I liked that one.
Because once you get a bit of organization on it and you know where you're going, like
because I hadn't done it before ever, and I was like, oh god,
don't know what to
looking
expect,
at me.
you know?
Oh,
and you kind of forget how long like 30 minutes is, you know.
Yeah.
Like after a while, you're running out of things to say. And
thankfully, that one was only 15 minutes.
Happy days.
Then the second one was also 15. The third one was 15.
Yeah.
And then from there, I think it was like 20, 30 most of the times.
Because you could be like 3 minutes in and be like, any questions?
Exactly.
Please, some questions.
I feel something like public speaking is the first few times it's just obviously not going to be good. Like you can't be great at everything first time you do it. So it's kind of like onwards and upwards kind of thing. You're obviously going to get better, but you have to just go out and just bomb it, you know, for the first time.
And I definitely did bomb it.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like you have a big habit now of just like not letting the failures stop you as well. You know?
Just go for it. Like.
I think that's why a lot of people kind of like your message. You know, it's just because you keep going. Like you have a quote in the book over here somewhere. Like age is not the variable that maturity is. And I think that's kind of like where you come from. Like you just go through the failures and you don't let it stop you, and eventually you're gonna grow and mature even faster than if you just kind of let life.
Exactly.
Go,
even faster is true. Like you will.
Like that's why you're kind of nearly so advanced for your age, because you're just going out and trying new stuff all the time. You know, a lot of people would be too afraid. Like we're like whatever. Like I'm 19, you're 17, starting the podcast now. Whether you were 13, you know, whatever, starting it then. You know, getting your foot in the door. So it's insane, man. That's
and would you say it was good that you started all this stuff so early? And would you advise others who maybe do have some sort of ideas to go out and just start it as well?
Definitely. Yes to both. But the thing that I would say that I didn't do is don't take yourself too seriously when you're doing it, and make sure you're always having fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're not, then there's like who are you trying to impress?
You're giving yourself
like, really,
work as well, you know.
Yeah, there's no point giving yourself it shouldn't feel like work ever. It really shouldn't. Like I enjoy business calls. I enjoy like lying on my floor on my belly, just sketching in my.
That's always on your Instagram story, just proper pen and paper on the floor. Like,
it's on the floor. I love it. Like it doesn't have to be corporate. It doesn't have to be systematic on a table. Like when I was writing the book, I scheduled every single day, half hour by half hour for 30 days. That was really systematic.
Yeah.
I nearly killed myself after it, but it was more to get it out of me than to. Like I did enjoy writing the book. That's the thing. It was just more structured than I've ever lived before. I've never lived such a structured day before.
Would you feel the meditation and all keeps you focused, like
Definitely.
to do that? You know what I mean?
During those 30 days, I was meditating like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to stay focused on actually, because I feel it with the magazine. You know, it's hard to kind of not just go out and see the new Han Solo movie at 12. You know.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe staying home and staying up until 2:30 doing the magazine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you were focused on achieving it, you know.
I feel like it's important to have the balance as well, though. Like, you should be doing this little bit of work, but if you're not doing enjoyable things on the side and just focusing too much on the work, you're gonna wear yourself out too quick.
Definitely, and I've done that like 3-4 times.
Yeah. The traveling probably does that a lot, does it?
Traveling does. I've loads of adrenaline when I travel though.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, like
I'd say it's nice new energy, I suppose.
Definitely. When I was in on the UK tour, I think we stayed up for like 4 days straight, like 0 sleep, and I'm just like, oh. You should ask. Them guys always call me the chip boy because I always ate chips. That's like the only thing I ate in London. It was so funny.
Like chipper chips or just like
chippers and what else, and loads of water, like 4 liters a day. It was
just
mad.
proper giving them talks, you know.
That's
it. I wanted to ask about the meditation. How long do you think you have to meditate for in order to regain an open mind and just energy in general?
I do it in 10-minute intervals or 15 minutes sometimes. But that's all I do. Yeah, I mean whatever works, but if it's not a good 10 minutes, it's not gonna work. Like you have to just.
But it's probably better than nothing as well.
Yeah, it is better than nothing. Definitely, it'll still slow down some thought momentum, but if it's done right, and that's what I'm explaining in the course. But if it is done right, and if you're just allowing everything to flow, even like I think the biggest misconception about meditation is people think you have to not think. And it's like, no, you're not gonna not think. You're gonna end up thinking. But the trick is, once you catch yourself thinking, go back to focusing on your breath.
Yeah.
Done. That's all meditation is. We're finished.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it, literally.
Yeah. And like, do you think the yoga helps with that as well? How does that kind of, because you hear the two talked in a pair almost all the time. How do you think they kind of correlate? Like, what's the advantages of either? Like, if someone was to pick up one or the other, almost, you know.
I don't think it works like that. I think it has to be done together. I think gratitude has to be there. I think gratitude's it's hard to say which one's the most important because the three work so well together. Like when I'm done my meditation, there's no thought momentum in my head. There's still thoughts, there's still some contrast in what I want to see, but there's no thought momentum. There's no heavy like, okay, I'm really angry right now, I'm really sad right now, I'm really happy right now. I'm just chilling, I'm just being. Then after that I go into gratitude so that I create thought momentum. I create a lot of positive momentum in my head. And then I'm talking out loud to myself for like 10 minutes, walk around my room. I always do that when I'm on the phone, even just walk around.
Oh yeah, that's I find even going out for a walk helps your mind just kind of get productive ideas better. Like when you're on a, like we went on a hike yesterday and just staying on a track, your mind is going and you just feel productive, you know, even when you're thinking.
Another thing that helps solve problems, helps solve questions as well, people say, is taking a nap or sleeping on it as well.
Yeah, it's like meditation. It slows down your thought momentum. But I think there's no real benefit to that if you don't set up thought momentum afterwards. And that's why I would walk around and say stuff that feels good to me out loud, like talking about, look,
mantras.
It doesn't even have to be mantras. It can literally just be like, you know, I'm alive right now. I've got another chance right now. Today's a new day. Yesterday happened. I'm happy with what happened. Today I've got more to look forward to.
Let's make the most out of it, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and just talking out loud and just really not even hyping yourself up, but kind of hyping yourself up, you know what I mean? After that you have a really good thought momentum. And then I go into yoga, which just releases any tension in my body. But it's also lots of slow breaths and stuff in yoga, so it's kind of meditation as well a little bit. That's a little bit more uncomfortable.
I feel like that's what people like to see on your Instagram as well, like your stories and even your posts, you know, always have it in the description, like just things that if you started thinking more like that, like so if you started your day thinking some of the stuff you put up on your story or something, you know, something about like it's a beautiful morning, go out, do this, go for the you know, people just sets them out on a good positive rather than maybe waking up and being like, oh, I'm too tired, you know, this kind of stuff, you know.
Instagram is great for that because I can reach like 12,000 people.
Exactly.
And it's just positivity, really.
Yeah,
it's just
and,
pure positivity.
Like if you choose to, and like I'm definitely choosing to with my page. The only thing about my page is, and I'm starting to notice it myself, it's kind of annoying me. I feel like it's looking kind of pretentious in a way and cocky in a way.
No,
and it's looking like I feel like I look like I'm trying to be a guru. That's what I feel like I'm looking like. So I'm trying to be a little realer on my page because you're not just gonna like if I meet you in town, I'm not just gonna be like, hey, this is a paragraph on what I said. Like no. I'm not like that in person, you know. I do think like that, but it's not what I'll just conversate with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm trying to be a little bit realer on my Instagram and more human rather than guru.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing with everyone's social media though. Everyone kind of has this almost like alter ego or something on Instagram or something.
Sure.
You're nearly trying to market yourself, really. Like you know, that's what it comes down to. You know.
Extent,
How long have you been on Instagram now? And how long has the momentum been building?
Maybe 3-4 years.
3-4 years.
Yeah, but I've only really started growing in like the last year or two.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And even I want to ask, on your Instagram stories, sometimes you're doing art as well. You're painting.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel, and how does that inspire you? Like art, just doing art.
I feel like any arts, whether it's painting or writing music. I write a lot of music. I play guitar. I write songs. I love all sorts of art. I don't know, just there's no resistance when you're creating.
Yeah.
There's no thought resistance. Like whenever I'm creating, I'm never thinking about negative things. That's what I find. I'm just really free flowing, and it's like there's some sort of energy flowing through me, and that's what I'm creating. You know, it's not my creation. It's whatever that energy is.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, that's kind of how it feels. So that's why I like doing any sort of creative stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I say like when I started creating, I stopped complaining because it's true.
Just once you're working on something, you know, you feel fulfilled almost, you know.
Yeah, because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
You're never gonna finish it. You're never gonna be perfect. So just.
Yeah, you just constantly have something to work on though that you get something back out of, you know.
Yeah, and it feels good when you look back at something you created the next day and you're like, oh, I did that.
Yeah. Another quote I liked from the book was the one I think it was your nana said to you, was it?
Yeah.
The love many, trust few, and always paddle your own canoe. Do you want to just talk about that for even just a little bit?
Yeah, like anytime I would tell my gran about different relationship problems, whether it's business or like with girls or with anything, friends, whatever it was, she would always tell me that, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But I only really thought about it when I started writing chapter 1.
Yeah. And it just
chapter 1 was
so
all
clear.
about doing me, and then that thing popped in my head, of course, because it's like paddle your own canoe, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, this makes sense.
And then I just expanded on it. So like love many, love is the highest frequency. So love is very important. Loving everything is very important because there's no reason to not love something.
Yeah.
I could go all day about love.
Yeah.
Like when you're feeling love, when that energy's flowing through you, there's nothing else in your mind. You know what I mean? You're just feeling good. And then trust many. I know. Wait, love many. Trust few. Sorry, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
You'd love to trust many, but
you'd love to, but you can't trust everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, as long as you've got people who you can trust, you're all good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a big thing. The people who you surround yourself with, I feel that's a very important thing, because if you're surrounding yourself with people who are always striving forward, pushing you, you're obviously going to be bouncing this good energy off each other, and that's why I feel creative people always attract other creative people to them.
Definitely,
because they know what's happening and what's to be expected. It's never nothing negative that can come from being creative and relying on other people.
Definitely. I was literally talking about that with my brother like last week or something, because he's wondering like, how do I meet all these people? Like, how do I get around like millionaires and stuff? And I'm like, well, go where they are. You know what I mean? Like, be the kind of person who they'd want to talk to. Like, creative people, they like, and you guys will know, they like interesting people. They like people being interested in them. They like people who are creative too. They like, they don't want someone who's gonna say, oh, I can't do that. That's just an end of a conversation.
That's similar. Like, whenever you get asked a question or propose something, it's really important. Some people would just say no, but the rule is don't say no, keep it going. That's like in improv, you can never keep improv going
if you say no.
That's like how you stop an improv, because if someone proposes something and you say no, it's just like, that's it. You can't go any further. But if you keep saying yes, keep maintaining it, you can get a lot further.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, you never know what something you say might spark something then in someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I took off yesterday. Yesterday I worked until I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I just said, here, I'm tired. I'm gonna call up my best friend PJ. I'm gonna be inspiring and be creative for the rest of the day. And that happened.
Exactly.
It's always nice to have those kind of people who you can just call up and be like, hey, let's be creative for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, work on something like.
Yeah, and you feel so much better during that time and afterwards.
And it's also productive in a sense. Those 8 hours.
It is. 100%.
They're always productive. They're never wasted.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about when you're going on tour, like say in London and in other places. You were in Dubai even in November. Like, what kind of people are showing up to the talks? I know you did a school in Mayo as well. And like, how is it? Do you talk differently to different crowds, or?
Yes and no. The thing about being in countries that people, being in a different country, let's say being in a different country, so not being in Ireland, it's cool because no one has any like expectation of me really.
Yeah. They
might see my Instagram, but they have no real expectation of me, so I can be, what's the word? I can be as.
You can make a new first impression even, or.
Well, I'll be the same around everyone, but I mean, I can be as direct about certain things as I want to be.
Yeah.
But what, like, okay, let's put it this way. I would talk to you about podcasting different to someone who doesn't know anything about podcasting.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy talking to teenagers the most, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of my age, and it's, afterwards they have more respect for me than someone.
It's easier to connect with them.
Yeah, I can connect with them way more, and I enjoy it because it's like, guys, look, we're all the same here.
Yeah.
Let's make something crazy out of this crowd. Like, there's 120, 130 people in this crowd. let's make 130 really cool projects this year.
Social media at our fingertips.
And you've quite a big Instagram following, and where would the majority of them followers be from? Would it be majority from Ireland or abroad?
The majority is from Dublin, actually, like specifically Dublin. I think the next one's London, and then the US.
And it's probably a lot of people like-minded, creative.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's that's like the demographic.
My DMs are so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Just loads of creative people, like.
Yeah.
I love connecting with creative people. I love social media for that, because you can go from Instagram DMing for a couple of days and then say, hey, give me your WhatsApp number
or something.
But like, well, most of them aren't even in Ireland, but give me your WhatsApp number, and then
all it takes is one message, and then that goes so far.
Yeah.
And it's all about being confident, just sending the message, just press send, you know, just see where it goes.
Even a big one for me is the Facebook groups as well, you know, like we were talking about it in the last episode, like the sneakerhead group, like almost by nature it attracts creative people that want to look a certain way, you know, they want to stand out now. And that then means that a lot of people in the sneaker community, like they work as a graphic designer or something like this, and you start collabing on things coming outside, you know, and you never
know. Friends, you make networks. It's just it's there for you, you know. And
there's like 4,000 people, and like on Instagram's the same thing. It's like if you follow enough mutuals, you start bumping into people that you're kind of like, you know.
That's always a good conversation starter. I feel like the whole your network is your net worth. It's true to an extent, but I don't like the whole idea of networking. I know one of my mentors, Dan Ram, said this in a video on Facebook recently. It's really about building relationships with people. Because if you're not going to invest time into someone, if you're just going to message them and say, hey, let's network real quick. Okay, I know you now. I'll hit you up when I need you. Like, that's just not how it works. If you don't build a real connection with someone, they're not going to, you know, invite you to their house. They're not going to say, oh, whenever you're in the country, come see me. You know, it's completely different. I feel like people are so focused on building companies and building contacts, but no,
making money.
Build a community. Like
that's
one of my mantras right now is communities over companies. Communities are going to win from now on. I feel like companies are all going to die if 100%. They don't build a community.
100%. That's one of the things I was going to say is you maintain, when you're talking about building these relationships, even with your followers, like you were just talking about in the DMs, like I've DM'd you a couple of times, you always get back, even though it's probably flooded, you know? And that's probably another key to what keeps your community so active and so
definitely, you
know, is that they actually now have a kind of personal relationship in a sense with you now.
This is the best way.
I'll probably leave you off with one last thing. Is kind of like, what's the soundtrack to your life looking like right now? What are you listening to?
Oh, okay.
You know, what albums we looking forward to? We looking forward to that new Kanye album?
Yes, I love Kanye
new Kid Cudi.
Everyone, I love Kanye West. I love.
I saw
Kanye
that.
West.
That was your most recent Insta pic. Was that Subset one up in?
Yeah. I was meant to post yesterday. I didn't. I need to get more pictures.
But what kind of music do you listen to? Like, it's probably, you probably have other genres outside of hip hop too.
There's everything from classical to reggae to Kanye, whatever Kanye is. Rap.
Exactly.
Kanye's just Kanye.
Literally.
There's nothing to compare it to.
New Slaves doesn't sound like any, like, you know what I mean?
Literally, you can't call that rap. But trap music, everything. I don't know.
It's kind of having an open mind. I feel that's what you're all about. It's just having an open mind to anything you listen to. Like, take it in, you know?
Anything that I like. It doesn't really matter about genre. I don't really have a taste.
I feel one thing that I started doing recently is just having certain music connected to certain vibes, you know? It's all about the vibe you're on and what you want, like, in that moment. In a sense, sometimes when you're thinking about shit, you might want some classical stuff, you know? Get that rhythm going, or like the music flowing through you.
It was pretty much my spiritual mentor that got me into the whole classical music side. Shout out to Connor. I love you. I love you, man. He's an amazing artist as well. He paints. He's really cool. But so he got me into the whole classical music, because whenever he paints, he listens to classical music, and he says it's really inspiring. So I was like, okay, let me try it out. So whenever I'm sketching now, I'm listening to classical, and you would be so surprised when you see the difference between me listening to trap music and me listening to classical when I'm
trap
designing.
Music.
It's that's how I am. I'm sitting there, I'm jigging around.
Classical is like you're moving with the energy, with the flow, like. Almost.
And like the finished product is so different, because I redesigned the whole Now collection. Did you see my RTE radio interview?
Yeah, the young interview. Young?
The new? Oh yeah, no, yeah.
The one that's like 10 minutes long.
He means the like on the like social media, like the video version. It was
in that interview, I said that I have the next 5 years designed already for Joker, which is true. And I also said that I have the next 5 collections designed, and they're the chapters of the book.
Yeah.
And I just went back because I'm like, okay, I need to drop some new Joker. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I need to drop some new Joker.
Yeah.
I left the market
when was
for
the
a
last
while.
drop?
11 months, 12 months ago.
I was looking at the Instagram.
Yeah.
It was August 2017 or something. Was some of the last posts.
It's been a long time, so I'm like, let me pop back in. Summer is always Joker's best season anyway. So
people can look forward to that now.
Joker season.
Yeah. It literally is. For the past 2 years, it's been Joker season.
That's it, man.
Summer.
Do you want to wrap up with anything else? Like plug whatever you need to plug.
Your Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Even anything you're working on that we didn't get to discuss. Anything.
Dope. Let me say the course is going to be really cool. I'm so excited to reach the
You were
course.
saying July?
Hopefully July.
Hopefully
July. All the production is during June, so
keep an eye out anyway.
Yeah, I'm putting everything into this course.
You said it's like the biggest thing coming up today.
For the next 3 years, it's going to be the biggest thing. It's going to be the thing that I'm pushing for the next 3 years.
And I want to get in as well, like about the book, even though it's a great medium to read through it and you're able to revisit it anytime, I feel like the video just adds something extra, even with this podcast, like a conversation, almost just, you remember it in a different way, you know? That visual learner might just pick it up a bit more.
Definitely, and especially because it's guided, it's me doing the exercise with you. You know, it's literally... It's spoken as if it's not like even the script. It's not me saying, "Hey guys, today we're gonna be doing." No, it's, "Hey, I hope you had a good day this morning." Like, I hope you had a good morning. We're gonna get into this now. Then we're gonna do this, and it's really one-on-one. It's the closest thing to one-on-one coaching with me as possible. Yeah. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm so excited for that. There's a new book coming very soon.
Sweet.
I'm not gonna put a date on that yet.
Yeah. Any titles? No. The title?
It's gonna be a book form of the course, to an extent. It's not gonna include everything though.
That's sweet.
But it's gonna be everything that I can do that's not one-on-one, because there's some stuff you just can't do in a book.
Yeah,
form.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has to be on video or whatever. Yeah. So there's a book coming soon.
New Joker, like you said.
Yeah, new Joker, lots and lots of travel. You're going to see a lot of my travel on my Instagram.
Yeah. Would you ever think about doing vlogs or something, maybe, with all that travel?
Yes and no. Yes.
I feel like it might be a bit...
I feel like it's going to get washed out. I don't want to put out too much content.
True.
I mean, there's never too much content. Yes, Gary V.
Yeah.
I hear you smacking me in the face right now. But, I mean, come on, man. You don't want to put out too much. Like,
I don't want to sell out.
Yeah, I don't want to become that guy. That's not easy to talk to, you know. I want to be a guy that you can see me in person, see me on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm with celebrities and stuff, but you see me in person and you're like, hey, and I'm just a normal person. I want to still have that.
Connect with people, that connection.
Yeah, because there's no connection if you're just like anytime I'm in front of the camera, I'm always a slightly more presentable version of me. I feel like that's everyone, you know. Yeah. In person, I'm slightly different. You know what I mean? So. When I'm doing that, I don't want to be recording every single thing. Like,
because then you're always living in this other space.
Yeah, and it's not real.
Yeah.
It just isn't. Like, you see, like, Jake Paul. I'd say he's a really cool guy to chill with, you know what I mean? But he's definitely slightly
behind
different
the camera,
on camera.
it's a different person, I feel. Every time.
Shout out to Jake Paul.
That's it. We can't probably go a podcast without talking about either one of them. Like,
I love Jake. Jake's a good guy. Yeah. He's a cool dog. I'll probably get so much stick for saying that, but he's a cool dog. For many reasons.
You have to respect the hustle, like.
Yeah, like, look at him. He's young. He's making hella stocks. Yeah. He's extremely, like, I feel like he's in a good place in life mentally as well, to an extent. So it's arguable, but whatever. Anyways, I feel like he's killing it anyways. But one person I want to shout out, definitely, Caleb Maddox. I can't go any interview without shouting out Caleb Maddox. I love you, bro. I don't know which camera we're putting. I love you, Caleb. You're killing it. Thank you for inspiring me. Number 2, Casey Adams. Thank you. I love you, bro. I'm gonna see you in can't say where, but I'm gonna see you soon, bro.
I'll see you somewhere.
You know what I'm
talking
about.
Secret location. That's it, man. Thanks for the interview, man. Thanks for your time.
Cheers for coming.
Cheers.